Hey everyone. So we all have those ideas, right? Little sparks for how to make some extra cash, or maybe even build something huge. But then these big, scary myths pop up and stop us dead in our tracks. Well, today we're going to tear them down one by one using some amazing insights from a true serial entrepreneur. So let's just dive right in. You know, the big dream for so many of us is passive income. That idea of making money while you sleep. Entrepreneur Chris Kerner has this great way of putting it. He calls it the financial Olympic. And you know what? He thinks it's a lot more achievable than we've been led to believe. And yeah, when this guy talks, you probably want to listen. The person we're learning from today, Chris Kerner, has started over 80 businesses. I mean, from selling golf balls as a kid all the way up to multi-million-dollar companies. He's tried pretty much everything, so he has a really good idea of what actually works out there.
We all get them, those little flashes of inspiration, those what-if moments. But let's be honest, most of the time, that's all they ever are, ideas. So what's the deal? What's the roadblock? Well, according to Kerner, it almost always comes down to fear and a few really powerful misconceptions that just paralyze us before we even take the first step.
Okay, first up, and this one is a giant. It's the myth that you have to be some kind of genius inventor, that your idea needs to be this totally new, never-before-seen thing. Seriously, this is probably the #1 reason people just give up before they even start.
But here's where it gets interesting, because this completely flips the script. The myth is you have to be unique. The reality? Seeing a competitor is actually a fantastic sign. It means somebody else already did the hard work, they spent the time and the money to prove that people actually want to buy your idea.
Kerner puts it perfectly. He doesn't see competition and get scared. He gets excited. He sees it as free market research. Someone else already went to the front lines, took all the arrows, and basically validated the entire business model for him. To him, it's an invitation, not a keep out sign.
So how do you actually do this? Well, Kerner has this two-tool combo. First, the Web Archive. It's like a time machine for websites. You can see how your competitor's site changed over the years, what they charged, how they talked about their product, all of it. Then you use a tool like SimilarWeb to see how much traffic they're getting. You put those two together, and you can basically map out their entire journey. And the best part? You get to start where they are today and skip all those painful early mistakes they made.
All right, let's talk about myth number 2. And oh boy, this is one we hear all the time. Follow your passion. I mean, it sounds great, it's inspiring, but Kerner argues it might just be the worst advice you can get when you're starting out.
We're told that passion is what fuels you through the tough times. But the reality is, the statistical chance that the thing you are deeply passionate about also happens to be a profitable business idea right from day one, it's almost zero. Chasing that perfect dream combo usually just leads to frustration and burnout.
And this is the main takeaway right here. The advice isn't to forget your passions completely. Not at all. It's about being strategic. The idea is to follow the profit first. Build that financial foundation, get some solid wins under your belt, and then, once you have that freedom and those resources, you can afford to go all in on the projects you truly love.
This whole idea leads to a concept Kerner calls sweaty, ugly income. You know, it's the money you make from doing the stuff that isn't glamorous, the stuff that's hands-on and maybe a little gritty. For him, it was a business where he helped people buy cars. He actually hated cars, thought the work was miserable, but guess what? It was profitable. It was simply a means to an end, a way to get the cash he needed for the next venture.
See that? Sweaty, ugly income is how you build your starting capital. Which brings us right to our final myth. The idea that you need a huge pile of cash or some venture capitalist to even get in the game. That fear of financial risk is a huge barrier for people. But Kerner says that in today's world, it's just not true.
Okay, let's get super practical. What if you've only got $500? Well, the opportunity that Kerner is most excited about right now is helping small businesses use artificial intelligence.
And here's the playbook. You spend about $100 on some basic tools and education to learn how to build simple AI solutions. Think like an automated answering service for a local plumber. Then you take the rest of your money and run some super targeted local ads. You're solving a huge problem for businesses that are just too busy to figure out AI themselves. And for that, you can charge a nice setup fee, plus a monthly retainer to keep it all running smoothly.
All right, let's double the budget. Say you have $1,000. With that, you can get into a market that's growing like crazy and is surprisingly profitable: wedding rentals.
The math on this is just wild.
You can spend about $300 on materials to build something like a wooden wedding arch, and then rent it out for $1,000 per wedding. The trick is, you don't market to brides and grooms. You go straight to the wedding planners you find on sites like The Knot, because they have a constant, never-ending stream of clients who need exactly what you have.
Okay, last one. Let's say you got $5,000. Now you can start playing in a different league and get into real cash-flowing assets, but probably not how you'd think. The idea? Buying small RV parks.
Now here's the key. You're not using that $5,000 to buy the park. No way. You're using it for what's called due diligence. You know, getting inspections, doing the legal checks. You actually buy the park using something called seller financing, where the current owner basically acts like your bank, and you pay them back over time using the profits the park already makes. You find a park that's not doing so well, build it a decent website, run a few ads, and you can massively increase its income and its overall value.
So we've busted the myths. You don't need to be original, you don't need to follow passion first, and you don't need a ton of money. So what's the one thing you should do like right now? The absolute most important first step is to validate your idea, to find out if anyone actually wants the thing you're thinking about without wasting years of your life or a bunch of money.
The whole mindset here is critical. Look, this is not about building the perfect finished product. It's about one thing: speed. Your only goal is to shrink the time between having an idea and getting a real signal back from the real world. Right now, momentum is everything.
So here it is. A simple 2-hour test literally anyone can do tonight. Think of an idea. Use an AI image generator to make a picture of it that looks real. Then post it for sale on Facebook Marketplace. That's it. You don't have to build it yet. You're just testing. You can even make a few different listings to try out different prices or colors. Then you just sit back, track the clicks and messages, and see which version people actually respond to. It gives you real data with basically zero risk.
So there you have it. You don't need a totally original idea, you don't need to chase your passion right out of the gate, and you definitely don't need a mountain of cash. All you really need is the willingness to run a simple test. So the only real question left is, what idea are you going to test in the next 24 hours?